poof, it's gone. Somebody else can pick it up. Just a reminder, today is day 7 since launch. We've made it a week. Can't believe it. Trying to make really good content for you. Build out a library of what to do, how to do it, the playbook for building an online business. We are ready to start building our website. You could just buy a domain and you could get set up pretty quick. But today we're going to actually talk about another domain type that you could buy. It's often not talked about. Is that you can buy what's called an expired domain. And what that is somebody else's business that they've built in the past that they gave up on or they let go from renewal. You have to renew your domain every year. And if you miss that renewal, poof, it's gone. Somebody else can pick it up. And so that's what we'll be talking about today. What the heck is an expired domain? How do we buy it? Why should we buy it? And what are the risks of buying it? Because there are risks. We're going to get right into expired domains. First thing we need to think about here, an expired domain is one that has failed to renew. When a domain reaches its expiration date and is not renewed within 30 days, it goes up for auction for 7 days. And then what you see is you have these expert domain hunters that go in there and start bidding on those auctions. There's a whole business around buying expired domains and selling them. And some of them sell for big money. We're not going to spend big money, but there's a reason that we are going to more than likely going to buy one for the purposes of MattyAds. So one of the core reasons that anyone might buy an expired domain is that it holds all of its for ranking organically. So if you're unfamiliar with the word SEO or search engine optimization, it basically means this. If you want to buy red shoes, here's what happens. You search it on Google, right? There's going to be some ads. So these are Google shopping ads. Let's ignore the ads for now, okay? And then what you're going to find is a non-ad version. How does Google determine that Amazon should show first here? Why should Amazon show first before anyone else? Why shouldn't it be Macy's or DSW or Foot Locker? Why does Amazon get to be first? Well, that comes into play with SEO or search engine optimization. And there's a lot of contributing factors there. We're not going to touch on all of them, but effectively Google determines a value for who should rank where on every search query. Amazon has link equity, or their website has equity, even if your domain becomes expired. And so the purpose and the value in buying an expired domain is that you can kickstart your project or your business and not wait to build up any equity. When you start a completely new website, most people say that it will be in the sandbox, in Google's sandbox, for up to 6 months. And that means Google will not rank you for many search queries because they don't trust you yet. And you can get around that by buying an expired domain. All right, another reason is that they use it for what's called backlinking. Linking has been one of the biggest criteria in your website ranking for over 20 years. So there's things called private blog networks. You can get severely penalized from Google if they find out you're doing this. So we will not be doing this, but you can effectively buy a bunch of expired domains and then link those back to your main site and pass all of that SEO value. Things to consider when buying an expired domain. Why is this important? Well, if you don't know what you're buying, you're going to waste your money. There are a lot of bad expired domains. All right, so one of the things to consider here is age of domain. So you don't want to purchase a domain that's expiring after just 1 year. You want more authority of an established site. Backlink quality. This is where you'll see spammy backlinks that we talked about. We'll be able to check for that on Ahrefs. And what they do is they buy these cheap backlinks or references back to our website, right? And then they pay pennies on the dollar, tens of thousands of times. Google does not like that. 12 years ago, Google didn't know any better, and those websites would rank very high organically. But now Google does know better. And so there's no quicker way to ruin your online business than to buy spammy backlinks. Do not do it. All right, site quality. There's something called the Wayback Machine or the Wayback Time Machine. That is an internet archiver. You can go to archive.net here. You can type in espn.com. You want to see what espn.com looked like in 2000? So that, my friends, that was espn.com 20 years ago. You can use that when you're looking at expired domains to find out if they've been spammed before. Is anything related to pharmaceuticals or for health related product that look like they've already been, or that the website has already pushed affiliate products, and not in like a nice kind of traditional website sense where they have like articles and content. It just looks wrong. Traffic. Check monthly traffic too. Don't go for it if only a handful of visitors visit. To get quality references, traffic matters a lot. If you plan to keep it open for guest content in the future, then it becomes even more significant. All right, so we want to ensure that it's still getting traffic, because if it's not, the question is why not? Perhaps it's been banned from Google search. Maybe it's been penalized from Google for doing something that we haven't found. And then here's the last one, is actually check for Google bans. So how can you actually check for Google bans? The easiest off the top is when you go to Google, you can type in site and then colon and then any website you want to see. If you were buying an expired domain called mattsgiftingblog.com, you knew it had 100 articles on it. You thought it had great traffic, it wasn't spammed, and nothing shows up like that, you know something's wrong. Now, how do we buy them? We'll talk about shortly. We have 2 providers already that we'll look at, and we're going to find some more. No better way to start than just to dive in. So we have expireddomains.net here. So let's search and see if we can find anything with the word gift. Let's keep going here. Maybe we can ABC Gift Co. All right, that site is available. So let's give it a check. abcgiftco.com has 40,000 backlinks. Ramped up considerably about a year and a half ago, and then has been falling since. Feel like this could easily be a spammed website. Yeah, this anchor text. So this is, if you've ever seen a link in an article, that is called anchor text. And general signs that a domain has been spammed is when they use different health related products. That one has been spammed. Well, we can check out Flippa. I already know what we're going to find here, though. A lot of real online businesses. All right, so we just typed in the keyword gift to Flippa. So the nice thing here is that this should allow us just to buy the domain. Problem is, most of these are established businesses. Spoil them silly. That could be a kid's website. Let's just see what it looks like within Ahrefs. It's spammed. I can already see it in the backlink. So when you see this, 1,000 backlinks, I'm fearing that our expeditions to find expired domains and the like might be in vain. I think the last area that we're going to look at today is we're going to try and find some. I don't think we found what we wanted today, just to be quite honest. I think what we're going to try and do is look up any of those expired domain brokers. So we already saw Sado. What we're looking for is a curated list of expired domains that we can buy now, that we don't have to create an account to look at. Clearly, we are having a struggle in finding some domains here. Just as a recap for what we did here, we were looking at expired domains. We touched on a lot of the aspects of what they are, what the differences are between a regular domain that you could just register for a couple bucks. We looked at different ways to buy them. We certainly see that there are challenges in buying them, at least quickly. A lot of them go off in an auction basis. And then the other piece to this is a lot of them need research. You could be spending several hundred or several $1,000s on one. There are a lot of positives about purchasing an expired domain to rank quickly on Google and retain some of that SEO or search engine optimized value that a website has in Google. But then the risks are buying bad quality expired domains that don't provide you any value. They could actually hurt you in the rankings. And so we've taken a look at several different things you want to consider if you were to buy one. One of those is age of domain. We looked at some of the backlink profiles on the ones that we found. You want to avoid the spammy backlink profiles, and you can use a tool like Ahrefs or your own keyword research tool to find them. Other things that we considered were the Wayback Archive or Wayback Time Machine, right? You can use that to find spammy site quality if you're going to buy an expired domain. Some other considerations within your keyword planning tool, I'm using Ahrefs, is looking at the different statistics that are available for whatever expired domain that you plan on potentially buying. One of those being domain rank, backlinks. We talked about backlinks as well. You also want to make sure it's still getting traffic. Also, see if it's index or indexable on Google. We talked about how you can do the Boolean string of site, colon, and then the website name. And that leads us to our last point, which is definitely checking for a Google penalty when you look to buy your expired domain. Pretty big milestone day for MattyAds. We're now at 1 week since launch. We also became a Twitch partner today. It's a good milestone. But today we looked at expired domains. Tonight, I'll look more at domains. Tomorrow, I would like to have a domain in hand, start looking at WordPress, and more specifically, start looking at WordPress themes. So if you're interested, curious about how you put all those things together to build a website, we're going to start that tomorrow. Best of luck. Stay happy, stay healthy, and we will see you